Hello there, this is the second video which I am making on DBMS. So in this video, we'll be focusing on a different set of questions where we'll be creating a database and then we'll be talking about how we can stop data repeat in any table. So first let me tell you a summary of this question. So the board of directors of Sanun Productions, so they need to create a computer system where they are not going to use books or any other system. So it is commissioned by Tilna Gayatra Soft. So they are making the scenario is that you are a senior software engineer and your team has been assigned to create this database. So first let's create a database called Sadhuna Production DB. So let's fulfill the requirements of the questions first. So we'll go to Heidi again, and then like the earlier video, you right click on MySQL 80 and then click on create new and then select the database. So for this name we'll have to give it as Sadhuna underscore production underscore DB and then click OK to save the database. Next, let's open the database and next let's create a new table. So click on create new and then select table. So let's see what tables we have to create. So the first table is called the employee table. So let's enter the name as employee table and next let's add the columns. So the requirements are as follows. The first column name is employee register number. So the data type is the varchar and the character length is 10. Likewise, let's create the other columns as well. So a first name, then the last name, and then the gender, and then contact number. So since all of the data types are required to be a varchar, let's set the length. So the first name could be long, so let's give 45 and also let's give 45 characters limit for the last name. Let's give 10 as a character limit for the other columns. So click on save to save this table. So now let's go to the next table. So we have to create a product table as well. So let's right click on Sadhuna Production DB, create new and then click on table. And then we'll have to name the table as product. Alright, and then let's add columns. So we have 3 columns to add. One is the product ID, and then we have the product name, and then we have the brand, and all the data types of the columns are supposed to be a varchar. The length of the product ID should be 10 and the character length of the product name should be 45 and the character length of the brand also should be 45. Now let's click on save to save our table. Next let's create a primary key for each table. So I'm using the register number as a primary key. So primary keys cannot be repeated. We cannot take any other columns as a primary key since it may get replicated. Contact number may also be taken as a primary key because it has all unique contact numbers. Now let's click on save. So we did the same mistake earlier as well since we didn't give a default value. So I'm giving no default value and I'm giving it save. Also the product also, let's give it the default value as no default value, and then let's make the product ID as a new index as is a primary key. Alright, so we finished creating the database. Next, what are the steps you can take to stop data repeat in the product table above? So basically, if you think that data in your table is going to be repeated, we can create a table with the data that is being repeated and link the two tables together. So first we create a table with the data that is being repeated, give it a primary key to an ID of that table, and then we link that ID by using a foreign key to the main product table. And then when we link the two tables together using the database relationship model, we can also stop data repeat, and we can also use little memory as well.